got your six when it's back against that wall. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Forgiven Soldier podcast on this Memorial weekend. I hope you guys are having a blast. We got a good friend. I call you a friend. I just met you like 10 minutes ago, but I've seen you in the chat and everything.
We're all brothers and sisters.
All brothers and sisters, man. But I got Big Grizz here from the Big Grizz Show.
How you guys doing?
Yeah. He's sitting in with me. This MBR radio is amazing because I didn't have I had a guest and some stuff happened. Didn't get him on, but I was like, man, I need to get somebody on here. I put in the chat, like, hey, who wants to, be on the show? And Grizz stepped up, man. I appreciate you. I really do.
That's what we do. Got to get our voices out there. Got
to get them out. So what is your show about? Let's talk about your show for a second.
So my show, I focus on vets, and we go through their. It's vets and first responders. That's all my show's about. Okay. And I'll go through the first half of the show and talk about their military, if they're willing to. When they enlist, what they do, how many deployments, blah, 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 stuff like that. And then, I don't know, the third segment, I'll try and work into how they combat their everyday life being outside of the military. What they have to do in their own mind to help with the civilian life. Now, we all know there's a difference between a combat vet and a veteran. There's different issues that arise with combat vets to just a vet that, stayed CONUS or went to Germany or Korea. There is different scenarios. My personal piece that I've learned and that I've found is being outside. I've realized that I had to go back to my childhood and to find that one thing that made me happy. And that was fishing. And so we get into the second half on how vets do or don't control their mental struggles that they face being outside of the military. I've had a lot of foundations on like beekeeping.
Do you beekeep?
Do I? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Very, very, very good friend of mine does, and he started showing me about it, and it's actually became pretty popular on MBR, which I did not realize. I'm not the only one. I had it on my show, but now I'm starting to see it pop up on more shows. The commercials are being played on more shows, so it was very interesting.
I got a good friend who beekeeps. I'm allergic to bees, so I stay away as far as I can. I'm allergic to wasps and all that stuff, but he loves it, man. He brings in the honey and all that stuff. So he's
my buddy Shane, he's actually been on my show. He has 12 nests or something set up, and he makes his honey. But dude, he straight up told me honeybees don't sting like wasps. And he told me, he goes, dude, I'll go sit out there just for hours and watch them. They sting, but they're not.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I haven't been stung in a long time, but I don't want to try it. I don't want to find out. I'll take everybody's word at it that it doesn't hurt as bad.
I'm the same. That every Friday, this is my therapy. I mean, I get on my show, I get my story out, I hear other people's stories and how they combat their issues, and it gives me avenues to help for me.
For sure, that's the same thing I do, man. That's the whole reason I started it. It's therapeutic for me. I get to meet people. I get to learn stuff. And so it's cool that you mentioned the outdoor and using that as therapy. So I have a nonprofit, Veterans Empowered Together, VET for short. And we have some mental health programs. We have equine therapy. Are you familiar with equine therapy?
Horse therapy, yeah.
Horse therapy, yep. So we partner with the Bridges program with here in my area, and we send veterans through the equine therapy who wants to go. Then we also have outdoor therapy that we're getting started. So we have a licensed therapist, John Higdon, and we partner with him, and we're working at a program where we can go outside to fish, to hunt, bow hunting, and doing stuff like that. And we're going to come up with a program for the outdoor therapy part of it.
I got a question for you.
Okay,
you said you have a licensed therapist.
Yeah.
Okay, to be blunt and to the point, is he a vet?
Yes, he is. He's a veteran. He worked at the VA.
That makes a big difference in what people are willing to talk about and who to talk to.
We made it a point to find that, and he actually reached out to us about our organization, and it's been a great relationship, and people love him. They love going to talk, which better than anybody. Veterans, anybody really, but veterans. We're just talking about veterans. They do not like to talk about their feelings whatsoever.
No,
but they know it's important. And they know they probably have to do it to get better. So that's why it was so important to get John Higdon on board. But he's working with us to come up with an outdoor program where we can be outside. He's going to be there and kind of go the therapeutic way on that. Mm-hmm. So we're super excited about putting that out. But he also sees veterans. We send him veterans, and we pay for everything. Veterans get through until they get picked up by the VA. If that's
and what you said, the name of the foundation's what?
Veterans Empowered Together.
Veterans Empowered Together.
Yeah, look it up. We got a website, Facebook, but we also have music therapy, which we started this year, and it's kind of similar to some stuff out there. I know Zach Brown has a camp out in Georgia, and Creative Vets. Everybody is familiar with Creative Vets, but kind of did our little own spin on it. We're in the bluegrass capital of the world, is what they say. But we got the Bluegrass Museum out here, and we partnered with Bluegrass Music Academy and Randy Lanham out there. And we bring a veteran in. They tell us their story, whatever story they want to tell us about their time. And then us as songwriters get together. We write a song about it, and we put it out. So we have 5 songs out. We just had one come out yesterday, actually, artwork in his hands. But I have a video that I want to show everybody. If you haven't listened to the song,
Veterans Empowered what?
Together.
Okay.
Yeah, vet for sure. But while you're looking that up, I'm going to play this video, and yeah, let me know what you think.
A Kentucky boy and simplified in 43. Basic training, learned to shoot on a boat shipped overseas. At the end of World War II, sent to Guam, orders came through. Cooked for the boys behind the lines, always looking to make a dime. Now I pass my time with a paintbrush in my hand, reminiscing about all the times I've had. Wheeling and dealing, always found my way, serving for my country, just living day by day. A century of memories, the people in my life. They paint the picture of the stories in my life. Yeah, the character of a man is the artwork in his hands. I've been helping people my whole life. My paintings will live past my time. The truth flows through every stroke. This is what I pray and hope. Wheeling and dealing, always found my way. Serving for my country, just living day by day. A century of memories, of people in my life. They paint the picture of the stories in my life. Yeah, the character of a man is the artwork in his hands. Take a moment to understand 100 years of who I am.
Yeah, that was Corporal Hagen. Artwork in his hands.
Did he write this song?
Yeah, so he was a part of
Okay.
it. He told us everything that was in that song. We took, verbatim and put a melody to it, and played it for him. But yeah, he just turned 100 years old. He was in World War II. He was a Marine. Semper Fi, and he loved it, man. We presented it to him yesterday with a quilt that we had made, or that somebody had made for him, and he was
Quilts of Valor.
Do what?
From Quilts of Valor?
It was just a local lady who makes quilts, and she reached out to us and said, "Hey, I got all these quilts. If you know any veterans, I'd love to give them to them." And so we gave her some names, and Bob Hagen was one of them. So we were
It's a really good song. I like it.
Thank you. You should check out the other ones too, man. They all have a different story, a different person, and all that stuff. But anyways, it's been amazing. Amazing to be a part of it, and it's very therapeutic for me. Music has always been a therapy for me. That was my avenue, and to be able to use it and share it, it's been great. So
what branch were you in?
I was in the Army. I served from 2001 to 2007. Deployed to Iraq in 2003 with my unit. Came back in 2004. It was Field Artillery, 1st of the 12th, out of Fort Sill.
You were in 112th?
I was, yeah. Were you?
I was not, but
okay.
I was in 329 FA.
Okay.
In 03, we were in an evasion. I just remember 112.
Yeah, we were 112. We went to you mean Iraq? You deployed to Iraq in 03?
I sure did. We were part of the invasion.
Yeah, we were too, man. March of 03. That's when we went over.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
so,
we might have hung out
at
the NWR tent.
Very possible. My guest yesterday was Jeremy Stallnecker with Mighty Oaks Foundation, and he remembers being over there too. And I asked him this same question. This cracks me up. Do you remember being in MOP 4 when the Scud missile came in and they thought we were getting chemical attack?
In Kuwait? Well, I was in Kuwait at the time.
In Kuwait?
Yes, bro.
I was
talked
there
about it 2 weeks ago. That was probably the most scared I was that whole year because I had
that was a pucker factor, man. That was a big time pucker factor because we had no idea.
Yeah, we had to sleep in it. We were unloading our trucks, and we were in
horrible.
It was horrible. Worst experience. It's definitely a 1-star in Yelp. But yeah, I was just talking about that. That's crazy.
No, that's funny. So if you, I don't. So we were 329 Field Artillery with 4th ID.
Okay.
I do
out of Fort Hood.
Fort Carson.
Fort Carson. Okay. Yeah. What was Fort Hood?
Fort Hood had 4th ID there. They had them split. I'm not sure if they're still split and there's only one brigade at Fort Carson. I don't remember, but now I know it's an SBCT instead of just an infantry brigade.
Yeah, we did a warfighter exercise at Fort Hood, and 4th ID was there, which it was fun. We stayed in rooster cages down at Hood, and went on to what looked like the Star Wars ship. What's a Star Wars ship? The
Enterprise?
No, the Falcon or whatever. Han Solo ship.
You're talking Star Wars, not Star Trek. The Millennium Falcon?
Millennium Falcon. Yeah, no, the Millennium. It was like circular, and it had all these like
Millennium
Falcon and stuff. It was pretty cool, like the warfighter part, but it wasn't like anything like what we went through. I was like, yeah, this wasn't on the video.
So how long have you been doing your show?
So I've been doing this show since 2001. My wife, who's sitting standing next to me, kicked me out of the house and told me to go to the garage. She was tired of me talking to her. But no, I started in 2001. It was during COVID is kind of where the idea started coming. And
that's 2021.
No, 2020 was COVID. That's when I started thinking about it. 2021 is when I started.
Oh, you were saying 2001. I was like, you're going back in time there. We were still in the military.
Oh, yeah. No, 2021. Sorry, not that long. But I started watching Theo Vaughn, and I just loved how he went about it and just meeting people, man. He would have truck or garbage men on there and just asking about their life and really cared about it. And I was like, that's something I could do. So I've had about, I haven't had a garbage man on here, but I've had about everybody on the show, man, that I just nope, like there's stories everywhere. So
there's stories everywhere, and believe it or not, a lot of these foundations that you start talking to, I had one on here. I mean, I'm a part of a big foundation, Lady Liberty Foundation,
mhm.
and they were the founders, and them they were my first episode.
Okay, yeah,
Amazing, like I don't know if you've heard of Mighty Oaks, the foundation.
I've heard of it. I don't know too much about it, but
Okay, so Jeremy Stallnecker was my guest yesterday. He's the
okay,
CEO of Mighty Oaks.
okay,
They're international, and I didn't realize all of this until after the show that I was talking to somebody of that sort of caliber. I did
that
not
stature,
realize
yeah.
it was just straight another dude that had a foundation. I did not know they were international. I didn't know that length.
How'd you find them? Like, how'd you link up with them?
Bro, he reached out to me.
Mm,
So, long story short, 2021, I had a lot of medical issues that happened to me. I lost, took a lot of my sight. I had 2 strokes due to a TBI I had. It took
oh man,
took most of my vision, so I couldn't work and I can't drive anymore. So I started my own podcast on Spotify.
okay,
And then one of my guests that I had on there told me about MBR, so I sent an email. Same with DV Radio. I haven't heard back from them, but I mean, legit, like within a day, emailed me back saying he had listened to my show and wanted to work with me. Cool. So that's where I'm at today on this one.
yeah,
All because of one guy. Well, in the process of my podcast just being on Spotify before I was even live streaming like we are now.
hmm
About a month before I got on to MBR, Jeremy's PR lady reached out to me because I was just I'm a small person giving vets a voice,
hmm
and asked if he wanted to be on there. I said, okay, cool. I
yeah.
had no idea. We'll come to find
Let's
out.
do it. Yeah,
Exactly. So the founders of Lady Liberty, they're good friends of mine. They knew everything about Jeremy and the Mighty Oaks Foundation because they based what they want to do with Lady Liberty off of what he does. So it was all just a weird coincidence.
yeah, that's
And
crazy, man.
and then he's on the West Coast, but he's international. Lady Liberty's on the East Coast, and we're starting to get to where almost like what he wanted. I mean, they're both of us, both foundations are a Christian faith-based
hmm
foundation to help with PTSD. And so we connected, and now we're going to talk offline and connect more with them to learn how to grow Lady Liberty to what we want.
Everybody's calling me right now. Sorry.
You're good.
No, but and that's great, man. That's how you connect, and that's how you get it out there. And I mean, I'm trying to think of the most, I don't know, the most famous. Famous person I've had on here. Hadn't been too many. Mitch Rossell, probably he's a songwriter in Nashville, and he wrote a #1 hit for Garth Brooks. He was on my show. He came
What
to
song?
ask me how I know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like I knew of him, and he came to Owensboro, where I'm at. He performed out here. Bro, I just went to the concert, and he came off stage, and I was like, "Hey, man, love your stuff. Love to have you on my podcast." He's like, "Here's my email. Let us make it happen." I was like, "Okay." So I emailed him, and I mean,
it's funny how that works, right?
yeah, he was very open to it, man, and it was great. It was great getting to talk to him, just pick his brain a little bit. I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan, and
I
so
am
that's
the
about
point
the closest I've got to Garth Brooks, and probably will ever get is one of the songwriters.
I'm a big Garth Brooks fan, have been my whole life. I mean, he was the guy to listen to when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah.
But once his political stuff kind of I don't look at people politically wise. I don't, but it's their voice and what they're standing for and what they're saying that you just kind of I kind of turned away. I like his old music, but that's just a hard one because it's
so here I am with that. The political part of everything is I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you believe. And it like if you're a good person, I'm still gonna talk to you, still gonna hang out with you. Now, there's only one man I worship, and that's Jesus Christ. So
Exactly.
I do enjoy Garth, and I'm a big fan, huge fan of him. And I probably would get a little freaked out if I ever met him, just because he was
Starstruck.
bigger than life, when I was younger. And but it would be cool to meet him. So Garth, if you're watching, I'd like to meet you. But
I think anybody would. Honestly, I would love
why
the
wouldn't you?
chance to meet him. I mean, he
he's
was
very business
very popular.
savvy.
You know?
He's very good at what he does. And
I just got done before you asked if anybody wanted to jump in. I just got done reading Acts 15 this morning, and
okay, yeah,
seeing the struggles that man, now you're gonna make me think. Shit.
Let's see how much you learned by reading it, huh, bud?
Well, I was doing this and then talking to you, but it was after
calling you out, bud. That's it.
Yeah, it's obviously it's after Jesus was resurrected, and it was Peter and it was Peter and somebody else, and they were talking about they were preaching the gospel in I want to say it was in Judea, Antioch, and then they got stoned on their way out because they didn't like what they were saying. It was right when Peter healed the gentleman with the crippled feet that he had from birth, and they told him to walk again. Well, then they started saying, "Oh, you're Zeus and you're Hermes and this and that," and they stoned him and walked away. It's like, how can you guys not follow your faith after everything that you just witnessed, and you guys still can't follow your faith?
Yeah,
and it's like, so you see those miracles, you should know you follow your faith on that aspect. I mean, you can't deny it. But
listen, I'm friends with people who don't believe too, and they're good people, and I still enjoy them. Now, I will share what God has done in my life until I'm blue in the face, and
you too.
It kind of, you can take it for what it's worth, and I. But the whole family does. But that's why I enjoy it.
Even some people that don't believe or they don't have that faith, maybe you were put in their life for a reason just to get your testimony out for them to think.
Yep.
You don't know.
Yep. I tell people all the time, like, God loves you for who you are, man. I ain't asking you to change. I'm just asking you to have a relationship with him and see how he can change your life.
Exactly.
So, and that's all it is. See how he can change your life.
Big time.
That's all that matters.
Big time.
But yeah, we so Memorial Weekend. It's different. Buddy of mine, he said, it's a different holiday than most. You still have, the 3-day and the barbecues and the time with friends and family, and but it's also a time to remember and for those who've fallen. So it's kind of a love-hate holiday. I love the time off, I really do, but I also appreciate it and value it, and actually going to a memorial event today too. A good buddy of mine is speaking at it. So what do you do? What do you like to do on Memorial Day? What's your routine?
Or
is it different than your normal day?
No, it's very different. My wife's dad was military and he passed. And one of my best friends had can't say he took his own. We don't know. All I know is he was an alcoholic and he drank and
had one of them
asphyxiated on his own vomit. Don't know if it was on purpose. Don't know nothing. We don't know that.
Yeah.
But what I do, it's not a, how do I say this without like offending anybody? It's not a holiday to me. It is a day of memorializing our brothers and sisters that have fought and never made it home. It is not a day to celebrate, in my opinion. It's a day, and I'm not going to say grieve either, but it's a solemn day to just remember that there was people that fought and died for us. We fought alongside them. They just didn't happen to make it. And
here's the beauty of being like, here's the beauty of human race, right? Like, you have your thing in what you believe, and I'm not discounting it all. I believe if that's what makes you feel, if that's how you honor them, perfect. I enjoy celebrating them. You know, I enjoy the barbecues. I enjoy talking about them because one of the biggest things, and I know you've heard this, is, you know, a soldier dies twice. Once when he stops breathing, and again when somebody stops saying his name. Right? It's a saying that has went back. So I like it where we talk about them, we celebrate them, like for what they did, and that's what I do. You know, I love the celebration of the heroes. You know,
I do too, but
yeah,
it's been taken so far out of context with
for sure. I get. I agree with that
civilians
too.
that it starts to feel like that the celebration of their lives for that day is going to, hey, let's get drunk and barbecue and not do anything and just have a good time and this and that, when you still can, but you got to know why you're doing it.
Yeah, and there's going to be people out there until, you know, there's going to be people after I'm here that will still do the same thing and not really know why there's a holiday weekend, unless you are very close with a veteran that talks about it, or that you that has died. You know, that you don't realize it until that it's just something you I don't have to go through it to really understand the importance of it.
Well,
Kind of
and
thing.
like you're saying, if you're not close to a vet or have a vet in your family or
Then
anything,
you're not gonna know.
you're not going to know. You're not going to
Yeah.
understand that feeling. And that feeling's there all day. Yes, we try to have a good time. We try to celebrate their lives and this and that. But that emotional feeling from a vet to another vet that has that has fallen, it's different. I
It
don't
is
know how to
different. Yeah.
explain it. I mean, you know, we the military has 3 days. You have Armed Forces Day, which is for active duty. You have Memorial Day for those who have died and fought for a country and lost. And
Yeah.
there are heroes. And then you have Veterans Day.
That's the
And
holiday, bro.
that's, hey, I'm right there with you.
Hey, that's when people go crazy. So,
but see, the thing is that a lot of civilians don't understand is Memorial Day is not for veterans.
no,
It's not to recognize us. It's not. It is to recognize those that are under the ground, that have fought in wars, that didn't make it home. There are heroes.
And that's
We have
another
a
thing.
whole
Like a lot of
separate day.
people celebrate. So soldiers who went to war, they come back, they live a good life, and they die. Like, they're not Memorial Day either. They're Veterans Day, but they passed. You know, Memorial is for the, you know, the heroes who died in battle and all that stuff. But you know, here's the thing. I just be good to veterans, to armed forces people, to people who serve, and just show them respect. You'll get a pass if you kind of mess up a day if you're a civilian. Just show the respect every day, really. Like, you don't need a holiday to show the respect. And for the most part, you're in Washington, correct?
I am.
You sit there. There are some places on the West Coast that do not respect any military, any veteran.
No, not at
I
all.
won't name cities, but I can name cities.
Oh, I will. Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, Portland, San Francisco. I mean, I can go
the
the
whole
West
state of
Coast.
California.
Exactly. So like last year we always go to our national cemetery because, like I said, my wife's dad's there, my good friends there. And we went last year, and our wonderful senator, and I called her out. I'm waiting for this backlash. I called her out on my show yesterday. Her name's Patty Murray. I don't know if any of you guys know who she is, but she got up there and started talking about veterans. So being me, I stood up and said, hey, it's not Veterans Day. You need to be talking about all my brothers and sisters that are sitting behind you that are buried under the ground, and not talking about vets, because it is not our day. We need to remember them.
You stood up and said this?
Yes.
You got video of that? Because I would love to play.
I don't. I unless they
It was probably right out the cuff. You probably didn't.
It was,
that.
and I mean, I embarrassed my wife, but it is what it is. But don't get up there and talk about how you help vets and this and that when my brothers and sisters are sitting right behind you under the ground because they fought for us. It's there's two totally different days, and if our government can't figure that out, what makes you think that people are going to figure that out?
Oh, do they really need to be there? But yeah. It's crazy. It's just it's gonna be like that when we are long gone, man. It's still gonna be the same way. So
it is, but man, that just
we just got to try to do our part and let people know in our lifetime, like, hey, this is what it's about. This is the difference.
Oh yeah, it's harder for vets and people that were personally close to an individual that had fallen. And
yeah.
I mean, at that point, we got to stand up for civilians' voices at that fact too, and our own, because some people just don't get the difference.
Yeah, and we put on Memorial Walk every Memorial Day. We have one coming up this Monday. We call it Walk for the Fallen. We walk 11 miles in our town, and it's good. It's good because when we're walking through the city, people are seeing us. We carry the flags. We're walking through. They honk. People get out of their cars. They'll salute. They'll do all this stuff. So you just show them how to do it. Maybe one day they'll step up and do it themselves.
And we have patriots that are, or let me rephrase. I'm not going to say patriots. We have Americans that truly understand what everything is, and they're truly there for those reasons. And then there's some that just don't. And like you said, I mean, you just got to keep your voice out there, and hopefully they hear it and they come into it.
That's right. Yeah, do you know what this is?
Wiffle ball?
No, it's a pickleball, bro. Have you played pickleball?
No, bro. I'm half blind. I can't have anything coming.
It don't matter.
Oh,
no,
yes,
it don't come at your face. Well, I guess it does come at.
If it's on the sides, like you got to think
peripheral.
Yes, I have none. Yeah. So I'm like looking through an ACOG. That's what it seems like all the time. So,
oh man,
I can't play catch with my kids just for the simple fact if the ball's off, it's gonna crack me in the face, and I'm not going to see it coming. And it's hard, but there's still stuff that I can do, obviously. Sure. But
fishing.
Well, yeah. I mean, but even at that, having my vision the way it is, it's slowed me down in everything I do in my life. I'm not so get everything done right now. It's slowed me down so I can actually enjoy what's going on. I might not be able to play catch. I might not be able to have anything thrown at my face because I can't see, and
I don't
man. Want black eyes, but
finding the blessing in everything for sure.
It is. Check it out. I got a disability. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's led me to this.
Yeah. So pickleball, we played this on Monday. Me and my wife. First time I ever played it. This is so addicting. Like I want to play. I want to play now. I fell a couple times just because I was going low for a ball and my center of gravity was off, and I'm not as I'm not as limber as I used to be, so I couldn't really catch it. But it was so fun. Like the whole family loved it. But pickleball, try it out.
No, I'll think about it. It's just I can't play, and definitely wouldn't be able to play in the caliber that some people play. Our pastor talks about it all the time. He plays all the time.
That's our church taught us. I know it's out there, like not just a church, but churches are taking it by storm. But
yeah,
like they're teaching the congregation. But it's fun, man. We just like doing stuff. But I really appreciate you coming on, getting to know you a little bit. Hopefully it's the start of something cool, man. I'd love to come on your show if you ever at the bottom of the barrel, man. Look me up. I'd love to come on.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely put you on there. I mean, I love it. I have so many people that reach out to me that want to be on there. Surprisingly, I did not think. I'm actually kind of overwhelmed with the number of vets that want to share their stories. I truly am. I was not expecting that many people to be willing to talk about their experiences and then to talk about how they combat it.
on the other side, there's a lot of people, a lot of veterans who will not talk about it
They're
whatsoever. So,
there is a lot.
mhm.
But just the numbers of the people that want to get their stories out there has really just kind of it set me back. Like, okay, maybe I do have a voice and a platform that these people can get stories out.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you do. I mean, there's platforms there where you can do it through song, you can do it through theater, you could do it through whatever, fishing.
Mhm.
You can do it through whatever you're passionate about. You can use that as therapeutic and get your story out there. Not even your story, get somebody else, like somebody you served with story, or somebody you lost. Like get that, just
oh
get that
man,
out there, man. That's
that's
how
in the
we.
works. Some of the
Yeah,
guys I just talked on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I was three-waying with two of the guys I was deployed with in 2003, and they're on the cusp of wanting to be on the show, but
yeah,
there's stuff that they're leery about. And if I get them on there, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get with H and be like, hey man, I'm gonna need like 2 to 4 hours, because
yeah,
once we start going, there ain't no stopping us. I mean, we were literally on a three-way phone call that we talked for
yeah.
4 hours just on memories that we had.
Bro, I did
You know,
that almost 2 years ago now. It started with one, and I was on StreamYard, and I just sent the invite to everybody. We have a group chat that we use, and by the end of the 2 hours, I had about 8 people on there, and we're just telling stories. But it was amazing. Probably my most viewed video out of everything. There's a lot of stuff that we probably could have got banned from Facebook for sure, but we didn't, so that's good. Like all ethics went out the window for everybody on. Usually,
sure
I try to
does.
tell my guests like, "Hey, kind of keep it chill. Like, don't say the F word too many times. Like just keep it chill, And usually they oblige, but that time I couldn't even. It was F bombs everywhere. I was like, I just went off the chain, man. I lost control of the show, but it was fun.
Well, a sneak peek with next week. We're gonna have a big platform for any of your listeners that want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in the works, and me and another show are talking about doing more or less a crossover between our two shows for about a 4 to 6 hour block. And there's do you know who Noelle Makeup Effect artist is on TikTok? Have you seen her? Or have you seen my commercials about the commercials I made? I'm pretty sure they have them in your brand about her. She does she paints her face and
Yeah. I
okay,
have seen him. Yep.
She's one of the co-founders of Lady Liberty.
Okay.
And the cool thing is Friday, if you're available Friday, if this goes through. So I'm
Next
still in the
Friday?
process of working it. Yeah, this coming Friday.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
It's your birthday. Happy early birthday.
Yeah, thank you. 43, bud.
Oh yeah, I'll be 43 in November.
I got you.
It's
Got
getting
you
up there.
months.
But we're talking about maybe doing a big, trying to do a crossover thing with all of us and putting her live kind of in the center like Red's Roundtable does, and for MBR's birthday.
All right.
She's talking about doing a tribute to MBR because they're actually, I mean, MBR is a big platform for us, and I'm pushing Lady Liberty through them, and it would just be one of those cool things where honestly the only people I'm going to bring in are DJs, are MBR DJs, to talk about what MBR means to them and to get their stories of why they jumped in.
Yeah, hit me
so
up, man.
in
I'd
the
love
works,
to be a part of it.
and as soon as H gets back, I'm going full on this on Tuesday. Try to get it ready for Friday. And
yeah, I think I have a golf scramble early. What time's this thing? What time are you thinking about kicking it off?
We're trying to. So, are you East Coast?
Yes. Yeah, Central Time.
Central Time. So, we're probably gonna try and start at about like maybe 10 in the morning Pacific time. So it'd be like what
12 our time,
12 your time, but it's also gonna go 4 or 5 hours. So
yeah.
Because on Fridays there's only we only have, I think, 3 or 4 shows on there. And the gentleman before me, Caesar, with the Battle Rhythm podcast.
Yep.
He'd be one. And then after that, I think after my show, I got 3 hours before the next show starts on Friday.
Okay.
So
I'll try to get in. I might be on the golf course when I get in. So I'll be sitting in the golf cart. I'm not a good golfer, so they're not going to miss me at all.
My whole vision behind it all is to bring it all together like this, and to have MBR DJs come in and talk about what MBR means to them.
Yeah.
Why Noelle's doing her thing,
Yeah, I'd love to be a part of it.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, it'll get out to all the DJs, and anybody, once it's a set in stone thing, I'll be putting the link and everything together and trying to get it out to all the DJs. And hit and miss, you come in, you don't. Me and her husband Larry, who's the other founder of Lady Liberty, we're going to be sitting there talking the whole time, and we just want MBR guests to come in and talk about what it is to them, what it means to them.
That sounds great, man. I'll be there, I promise you. But I appreciate you jumping on today and stepping up, and thank everybody who's watching, everybody who shared it, if anybody. But we'll be on next week a couple times, it sounds like now. So God bless and love somebody.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting MBR in any way, form that you can. Use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's Mike Bravo Radio.us to learn more about how you can donate or volunteer even just an hour a week from your home. Help make a difference in the lives of our veterans, because once again, we're all here for you and not for us. We're giving our veterans a voice.